Hello to all of you good people who enjoy rights and transparency. I don't get why some of the people would live with lies and fake. We know that we would not speak to the audience their private things, but when people talk about freedom and democracy, to interfere as political people, there should be openness in front of their nation. Some people call themselves Kermanshahs represent in European countries, but it is just a lie, and I find them living with the untruth imagination. One day those calls himself a professor without rating. He has just been in school in Iran for 5 years. He read to the 5th class and right now he calls himself a professor, but he is just lying. He calls himself Kermanshahs, people's representative in Europe. He's just lying. Kalar itself Kermanshahs representative without Kermanshahs. People know who them is really. Them saying to them is the Kermanshahs representative in Europe of the principal ones are not from Kermanshahs. Them lived at a village boundary between Iran and Iraq called Zahab. Then when started the war between Iran and Iraq, they fled from Iran to Iraq, then lived in a fight in Iraq near the Jordanian border, who called al-Tash. A refugee situation is located 8 kilometers outside al-Romadi. Everyone who lived on this fight was 90% of them were literate. Rural areas has not been to school in Iran. 95% of them lived in the villages between Iran and Iraq, and he thinks anyone living in Kermanshah are the same as those lived in al-Tash fight, and it's a total misstatement in mind, because we know in Kermanshah there are over 25,000 just psychology trained, and we have in Kermanshah over 12,000 professors who are perfect in history. We also have more than 15,000 have trained as anthropology. We have more than 8,000 people trained as geology in Kermanshah. We have more than 7,000 physicians and more than 4,000 special doctors who are very skilled in Kermanshah. We have many people who have high education in Kermanshah. But right now to tell you about people, how alive people in Kermanshah. Kermanshah live different with people of different religions, Jordanian, Muslims, Christians, Jews. Also Kermanshah city is closer to 2 million people there are in Kermanshah province. Pave, Jawanrad, Rawansar, Taz Abbot, Kozaran, Dalaho, Shah Abbot, Sarpol Zahab Shana, Basitan, Gazarishran, and many little towns to throughout Kermanshah province are living more than 7 or 8 million people. I myself am born in Kermanshah and know exactly how people think in Kermanshah, also how people think. In Kermanshah people speak very beautiful dialect called Goran dialect. Unfortunately, there are many that prove to them is political, but those go to Iranian embassy in Europe. Even this man that I'm talking about usually go to Kurdistan and stays there for several months without having any problem. He is a suspicious people. When I look at his letters, he may be Iranian agents. Kermanshah is a very old town and there are a great many historical things, and the district as Taga, Boston, Beston, and many other Gazari Shrin. One of those people who are well known to us as a psychopath, also a sociopath. One day he is communist, another day he becomes Wahhabi Islamic fundamentalism, another day he become a Democrat, but in principle he is nothing. He goes around to the people and says he has been in the universities in Sweden, but he just lying to people. He wrote on his Facebook page that he will very good English and Swedish, but we have never seen his letter sometime in English or in Swedish. He is well known to people who are fake and a phony man suffering from strong hypocrisy. He of a communist is communist, and of an Islamists are Islamic, and of the Democrats will be Democrat without knowing what democracy means and what democracy is, how to learn about democracy. He and those 3 people that work with him using the word democracy without reading about democracy. I think this man is suffering from strong bod was his unmatched mythomania. I myself have psychological trained. I have seen him think he is a worst psychopathy man. He is lying all the time for people. With greetings, Samuel Kermanshah.